Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the ChaddyTheChump channel, and it is Christmas, and with it being that time of the year, Ring Magazine has gifted us another amazing card. I mean, it doesn't even feel really like it's Christmas, it just feels like the usual bangers that Ring Magazine give us, right? We had one last month, which was Night of Champions, but this time it is Night of the Samurai, with all of pretty much the best Japanese fighters going in there on this one night in Japan. Obviously in different time zones, it is going to be at different times. For me in the UK, it's in the morning, but not too early, so not bad. Better than staying up till like 5 AM or something like that, but it would be worth it anyways, because this card is stacked. It is stacked, headlined by Inoue, and that's against David Picasso. Also Hunto Nakatani versus Sebastian Hernandez. That is the co-main event, and of course there is a lot of rumours going on that Naoya Inoue versus Hunto Nakatani fight will happen in 2026 in a stadium in Tokyo. But they've both got to get through this, you know. Boxing in general put on usually these cards where you've got two guys who are matched up against each other in the future, and one of them ends up losing. So let's hope this doesn't happen again and both guys do come out on top. But we are going to be talking about the full card today. I am wearing the Tokyo t-shirt, so I am on topic with this card despite it being in Riyadh. But anyways, let's talk about it. So we will talk about the main event first. Naoya Inoue versus David Picasso. Japanese versus Mexican fighters going at it, right? Number one in the super bantamweight rankings, and you know, some may say number one, you know, in the ring rankings. You know, Crawford's retired. Personally, I don't believe that. I believe Usyk is, for me, number one pound for pound for sure. But you know, Naoya Inoue is up there, right? He is, and he's up there on pretty much everyone's list because he is such an incredible fighter, and he is taking on David Picasso. Now, look, Picasso obviously is an outsider in this fight. It is no wonder because of everyone, you know, making a huge fuss about him, and rightfully so. He is a pretty unbelievable fighter, and David Picasso's odds are not high. However, is there a chance, right? No one wants to talk about what the odds are because everyone knows that. But is there a chance that David Picasso could beat Naoya Inoue? Well, it's very unlikely, right? It's very unlikely. It's just the truth, right? David Picasso isn't this outstanding, incredible fighter. We've seen Inoue get dropped before, but Picasso hasn't got the power to stop Inoue within one punch, and not a lot of fighters can, you know, outdo Inoue in terms of outboxing him, right, and hurting him throughout the fight to eventually stop them near the end. It's not going to happen, you know. The athleticism of Naoya Inoue is just too good, and it seems like it's a banker. It is a banker that Naoya Inoue does win this fight, as you know, many people maybe do want to happen because of the fights that can happen in the future. And maybe some people do like a underdog winning, but in this case, David Picasso is more than an underdog. He has barely got a chance in this one, but if he wins, it would be incredible. Alright, now let's talk about the co-main event. Hunter Nakatani versus Sebastian Hernandez. Now Nakatani, there's a lot of hype around him, right? And there's a lot of, anticipation for the Inoue versus Nakatani fight. And if both men get through it, it's going to happen in a stadium in Japan. That would be incredible. But can Nakatani get past Sebastian Hernandez? Well, Hernandez is no jobber. He is somewhat of a threat to Nakatani to a certain extent. He's young, right, and he hasn't lost a fight, which means you would be stupid to not think he has a chance. But from watching Hernandez's last fight and his overall style, it is a pretty nice style for Nakatani to deal with. And matchmakers are matchmakers, and they are smart, and promoters are smart. You don't want to put Inoue or Nakatani in big danger yet. And in this case, it's a very nice style. It's the style that will stay there. The hands are up, but they're not moving about like crazy. They're not using the jab a lot and staying out of range of going in and giving Nakatani a tough time, because Nakatani's one of them who's just gonna throw haymakers and sometimes get caught going in. In this case, Hernandez probably doesn't have the style to be able to, capitalise off of Nakatani's way of fighting. And in that case, I do believe that Nakatani will defeat Hernandez. Now, another world title fight on this undercard. Wilibaldo Perez versus Kenshiro Teraji. Now, Perez is the champion going into this fight. Teraji looking to get it. Obviously, Teraji's last fight was an upset, and he didn't really want to get beat in his last fight, and he did, and it was a bit disappointing. But in terms of this fight, can he get the super flyweight world title? Well, I actually don't think so. I think Perez has a pretty kind of awkward sort of style, and he changes his stance a lot, and I think that might be good against Teraji and possibly overwhelm him. And I do think that Perez will retain his world title. And then there's a possibility of him fighting Bam Rodriguez, right? And that would be for the undisputed title. And that's a possibility, and I think Bam beats any of them in that division. I think it's easy work for Bam Rodriguez. He is incredible. I want to see him, kind of move up and fight some even, tougher names, because, I think he's got an easy undisputed run. There are also some other sort of Japanese prospects coming up on this undercard. Taiga Imanaga being one of them, who is, taking, a sort of pretty nice fight. It's still pretty tough, but it's kind of a nicer one against Eridson Garcia, and he is looking to win that, along with Reito Tsutsumi also coming back 3-0, looking to become 4-0 against Eduardo Quintana. So that is two other Japanese fighters coming into this, looking to get more wins. So yes, that was my preview and prediction of Night of the Samurai in Riyadh. It's going to be a very good show. I'm looking forward to it, on it a little bit of a different time, but I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind. And this is the last boxing card, major boxing card of 2025. And it's been a good year, of course. I'm going to be also doing a Boxing of the Year awards, where I will be giving out my awards for each, you know, fighter, card, promoter, all of that stuff. So make sure you watch that when it comes out. But I will see you guys in the next one, and Merry Christmas. Goodbye.